could be out the race.
Jasper, you can see just how much he's done to his back here, as we always say. Never speculate. Jasper, though, in a lot of pain, as you can understand there. He's gone down very, very heavy. The doctors are with him. His team boss as well, Christoph Grothoff there. Brian, absolute disaster here for him.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Seems okay there.
And it was the teammate.
Oh, it's Koch.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was the lead-out rider there from Intermarché that caught Coquard, which ricocheted back to Jasper.
So it was a mistake of another that caused that problem there. So it was the Intermarché rider. Couldn't quite see what happened there. Look, you can just see gesticulating at Coquard because they realised that Coquard took out Philipsen, but I don't think it was entirely his fault there. I think it was something to do with the Intermarché rider. It definitely looks as if Philipsen, unfortunately, is out this tour.
He's not what we want to see, and we, got to feel for Jasper Philipsen there. There's our result. That really is secondary to our concern for Jasper Philipsen. We never want to see that with someone in that, anybody in the race, but Jonathan Milan takes the 20 points there. You can see the way Milan himself rolled across the line, but luckily, as always, as we always say, the emergency team straight with Jasper Philipsen, and you got to feel for him, as you can understand. You can see the damage to his skin suit and how his back there, that he's in a lot of pain, is Jasper.
No, in fact, I'm just looking at it again there.
That's it. Here we go. Just having a look.
It was Brian Coquard's fault. I'm just looking at the slow motion again, and what happens is the Intermarché rider starts coming up, and Brian Coquard goes to the right hand side and bangs into the Intermarché rider, which pushes him back into the path of Jasper Philipsen. Just watch it there. So he moved to the right, Coquard. He banged into the Intermarché rider coming up alongside him, which forced him into Jasper Philipsen and took him out the race. That's why the Alpecin riders were having a go at Brian Coquard.
And as you can see,
he's totally stunned by it all.
And he would be going down at that speed as well. And after a day of that was setting up for that intermediate sprint, and we got to send big love out to Jasper Philipsen there, going down really heavy, green jersey, and it just means as well, just give a pause moment just to collect ourselves after that. And it just as well, at some point it's kind of this. You look at that run, I mean, these intermediate sprints for this green jersey are being run out as well, almost like the finishes.
Yeah, a lot's on it. It's that movement. The movement of Brian Coquard. He just moves into the right hand side. So he moves. He's not going to see from behind the Intermarché rider coming up. So that's where the kind of problem lies. But he does move to the right hand side to move out just as the Intermarché rider is coming, and unfortunately that pushes him completely up against Jasper Philipsen.
Yeah, it was just that ricochet, and Philipsen just had nowhere to go, did he?
He comes down really heavy, really, really heavy.
So the peloton, 56.5 kilometers to go now. You can see there's just a collective regrouping now here at the front.
Yeah, of course, when you get a major incident like that, with Jasper Philipsen crashing, you still got obviously the block headwind, but that was a really nasty crash there. I can understand why Coquard had moved to the right hand side. What he wouldn't have known was the Intermarché rider was coming up on his right hand side, but he did move to the right and moved into the side of the Intermarché rider, bounced off him, and unfortunately bounced into Jasper Philipsen and takes him out. So I'll let the the commissaires look at that. Definitely not intentional, but there was definite movement from Brian Coquard in that sprint to move to the right hand side. He possibly didn't even see the Intermarché rider coming up there, but even so, banging into another rider like that.
Evenepoel.
Mike Tunison on the front and the right hand side there, Ballerini on the wheel. The left hand side we're starting to see Groupama, FDG. Little Trek in the red helmets. This is this major point now, coming up 1500 metres to go. Get round here, smaller peloton, so easy round this corner. Then it just meanders all the way towards the finishing now.
It does indeed. Pavel Bittner, he's their protected rider for Picnic Postenel. Sam Watson for Ineos Grenadiers in the British Champions jersey is up there. Here comes Lidl Trek for Jonathan Milan. We're going to snake in towards the finish as riders just fight for position. Here come Bahrain victorious with Phil Bauhaus trying to move up towards the front. Cyril Barth moves through. Pascal Ackermann gets into position, but it's Lidl Trek on the front now with 1 kilometre to go. This is all about the sprint for Jonathan Milan as they start trying to set this one up. You can see Tim Merlier in that European Champions jersey surfs his way up. He wants the wheel here of Jonathan Milan. Arnaud Delis in the red and black also moves up as they start to launch this one. Danny Van Poppel is there for the Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe team. Here comes Pavel Bittner and the Picnic Postenel team. Has Milan got the firepower to launch this one? He doesn't want to go too early. The headwind finish. Bittner on the wheel of his teammate. Then you've got Jonathan Milan and Tim Merlier. Oh, huge crash behind as they run towards the line. It's Bittner, Milan, Merlier. Milan comes off the wheel, but here comes Tim Merlier. The European champion comes through. It's between Merlier and Milan. Merlier and Milan, the throw to the line. It looks like Tim Merlier takes it here in Dunkirk. But after a late stage, another big crash in towards the finish. But the victory, Tim Merlier surfs it to perfection and takes the stage. He's celebrated across the line, but it looks like the day belongs to Soudal Quickstep. Take us through the sprint, Brian.
Oh, this is rather chaotic. I think we're going to see a sprint, Ballerini coming down there. Nasty one, but at the front there, it was almost perfect from Picnic Postenel. Bittner goes, but Milan goes, but on the wheel, Merlier. Phil Bauhaus is there, Warren's called Gourmay, but I just think it's the strength of Merlier, one of the favourites of the day, up against Milan. Throw the bike, gets his first victory of this year's Tour de France. Second place going to Jonathan Milan, Bauhaus in third, Warren's called, Bittner in fifth place, Gourmay in sixth, Groves, Van Poppel, Ackermann, Capio and Dainese. But what I think, Arnaud Delis being brought down there, Ballerini just crashing there, but I just think it's those kind of bends. That's what I said to you before. You have to take these sort of sprints on from the front. If you're playing catch up, then unfortunately you take a big risk. But Merlier just showing his strength in this sprint, holding and coming past Jonathan Milan.
The throw there, look at the throw to the line, and you could see the effect, you could feel the effect of the headwind there on the face of Johnny Milan.
Such a strong sprinter is Tim Merlier. Taking nothing away from Jonathan Milan. It was good there from Picnic Postenel, but that's the difference at the end of the day.
Tim Merlier takes it ahead of Jonathan Milan. As behind him, Phil Bauhaus, Soren Varnskjold, Caden Groves in the grey, Biniam Gamay, Pavel Bittner. What a lead out as well from Picnic Postenel. Big respect to them.
It was good. It's just he had to start sprinting first. Ultimately kind of led out Milan, but Tim Merlier, he doesn't need anything. He came up at one point on his own and he just surged up there with such speed. He was raring to go, and there's still a lot of work to be done, but managed to come round Jonathan Milan there, not easily, but we know what sort of sprinter Tim Merlier is. He's such a strong sprinter. I think that's Paul Pennewick. He crashed with Ballerini, and unfortunately Arnaud Delit just with inside the finish. But it's those bends. If that would have been a straight finish, I don't think we would have seen any crash. I know that you have to, when you come into towns and things like that, you have to deal with the way the finish is, but these kind of bends in the run into the finish, the riders take the closest way in. Evenepoel finishes. We've got the whole team here of Astana finishing there, but yeah, Tim Merlier gets his first stage, and Belgians are having such a great tour so far.
And to put, he's such a rare talent at this level to be able to now, in sort of this modern era, in the manner, he's the perfect sprinter for this era, given how the teams come together to be able to just surf off everyone else. He just gets brought up, dropped off, does the job.
We've talked about this, Marty, that he's probably one of the best at doing this. That's the decision of Soudal Quick-Step, coming here with just one rider, Bert van Leeuwenbergen, to take it. And these very tricky finishes, especially when you get the power that Tim Merlier's got, put yourself in that right place. With a kilometre to go, Lido Trek were there, taking it on from the front. And then I think the mistake of Picnic Post NL possibly should have just stayed, but no, Tobias Lund decided to go, and he went he went too early for Bittner. And Bittner had, I think he went almost from that corner, 250 to go, which was too far to the finish.
So far, Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe rider is okay. And it looked like we had a Cofidis rider as well who went over the top. It looked like Brian Coquard just rolling in there. The beaches of Dunkerque. And the stage belongs to Tim Merlier of Soudal Quick-Step, ahead of Jonathan Milan, Phil Bauhaus, Zoran Varnskjold, Pavel Bittner, Biniam Mike, Ken Gross, Danny Van Poppel, Pascal Bachmann, Omri Capio is our top 10. But a great win for the Belgian. He takes the stage victory. The European champion brings it home in Dunkirk. And with that, we will hand you over to Jonathan Harris-Batty. We'll take you through the podium. Brian and I will see you tomorrow. Over to you, Jono.
Thank you very much, Marty. Wow, what a sprint finish that was. Such a narrow margin of victory, and Tim Merlier was quite superb. We've got some battered and bruised riders coming across the line now. Two riders who went down from that Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe team, Jordi Mes and Laurence Pitié. I think everyone has managed to get back up on their bikes and across the line, which is of a great relief, of course, after what we saw with Jasper Philipsen earlier today. Looking back at this sprint, Tim Merlier just coming that much quicker, and what a remarkable record the Belgians have here. Any stage in the Tour de France that has started or finished in Valenciennes has gone their way, and that has been preserved today. Merlier knew. That's carefully negotiated by him. Jonathan Milan was pushing as hard as he could, but it was just not to be for the Italian. Victory for Tim Merlier. First ever one at the Tour de France. Let's go and hear from him.
Congratulations, 4 years after you do it again, you win stage 3 of the Tour de France, but what a battle it was in those final moments.
It was really a hard battle. It was difficult to be in position. It was Bert before the last corner. I must say the team did an incredible job till the last 5, and then the real Casimir starts. It was really difficult to find position. Lost Bert then, and I think in the last 2 kilometers I fight back from the from behind to come back in position, and I was like all the time in the wind, and only with 500 to go I found again a bit of slipstream, and I know next to Milan always difficult to beat him, but I'm happy I can take today my second win here in the Tour de France.
Did you know you had won?
First I was sure, but then if you put the hands in the air, then I was not sure anymore, so I was waiting until it was sure.
What's so specific about a sprint like this one with the headwinds? I mean,
Headwind is really difficult. You can always come. No team can put it on one line, and they can always come back. So you really need to. You lose really a lot of energy to be in position, but I know already if I'm in position I can make it, so I was focusing on that in the end.
I suppose you must have been disappointed not to have conquered the yellow jersey 2 days ago in Lille. This is a sweet revenge for you.
I was coming over here to win the stage. Of course, I think the yellow jersey was a goal, but I am happy I have the stage.
Thank you very much. Congrats.